Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. Today, we are continuing our ongoing coverage of the civil war taking place inside of the former state of Ethiopia, and we are also continuing the coverage of the Eritrean invasion or attempted invasion, or we could probably say now the failed invasion of the Eritrean uh, military expedition into the Tigray region. We have additional information coming in from the Afar front that indicates that as in the northern front as well, along the Tigray Eritrean border in the north, Eritrean forces have suffered tremendous amounts of casualties and have been stopped from advancing into the Tigray region, specifically areas near Berhale and in the south near Abala. Furthermore, it appears as we speak, there are probably between one and elements of up to five Eritrean divisions that are now at risk of being cut off in the Afar region and destroyed by the Tigrayan Defense Forces. We understand that major elements of the Eritrean 67th Division has been eviscerated just outside of Berhale, just to the west of Berhale, near the Tigrayan Afar regional border. We also understand that Tigrayan Defense Forces are now counterattacking within the vicinity of Berhale, looking to cut off Eritrean forces in and around Berhale and further to the south near Abala. What makes this very challenging for Eritrean forces is, again, as I talked about before, is the lack of infrastructure, the lack of ability to use roadways to navigate around the Afar region and resupply its forces. If you kind of look at the major roadways here, again, there are roadways that service areas near Berhale, but there are very few roadways that lead out of the western Afar region into Eritrea proper. And if the Tigrayan Defense Forces are able to sever those roadways, those motorized formations that were deployed by the Eritrean army, by Abiy loyalist forces, again, are at risk, a very real risk of being cut off and destroyed by the Tigrayan Defense Forces in their very fast-moving light infantry formations. But again, it would appear that the Eritrean military has suffered another significant defeat outside of Berhale, taking tremendous amount of casualties. We know that there have been video evidence of Eritrean prisoners of war being taken by the Tigrayan Defense Forces. And again, reports that are trickling in indicate that the Eritrean army, Abiy loyalist forces, Afar regional forces, but more so the Eritrean army, has suffered massive casualties in some of the ongoing fighting that has taken place. And right now, we understand that the Tigrayan Defense Forces are now counterattacking within the vicinity of Berhale. So we'll have to see what happens in terms of if the Eritrean army is able to stabilize its position in the western Afar region. But right now, it looks like they are having a very, very tough time as we continue to watch what's happening. There continues to be fighting in the northern front of operations, again near Zalambasa, north of Adigrat, near Rama, and then to the west, again near Shiraro. The only area where the Eritrean army, as I spoke yesterday, has really made any headway is near Shiraro. They have been stopped near Didaro in this area and have resorted to a more or less a terror bombing campaign against the city of Adi Daro in this area here. But again, we also hear reports that the Tigrayan Defense Forces are now counterattacking in this area as well. So much different war this time when the Tigray region is fully mobilized and the Eritrean army is facing 250,000 very tenacious and motivated Tigrayan Defense Force members, as opposed to 9,000 forces they faced at the end of 2020 during the first invasion. But that is kind of where we sit right now. We will, of course, bring you more information as we get it. We're continuing to watch things in the southern front, the southeastern front, south of Kobo as well. Again, as we had reported, it looks like the Tigrayan Defense Forces are looking to conduct a win, meaning in the northern front, the eastern front, the Afar region, and then hold its ability to defend the southeastern Tigray region, running from Sokoto, Lalibela down to Weldia, with the area that the Tigrayan Defense Forces has captured in this area. Hold this area, defeat the Eritrean army in the north, then possibly look at counteroffensive operations, maybe into Eritrea. Very difficult to say what the TDF is going to do at this point. They have moved a lot of combat power to the north, which has stopped this renewed Eritrean drive into northern Tigray, into eastern Tigray, near the Afar Tigray border as well. So that's kind of where we sit right now. We will have more very, very soon as we continue to get information. Very difficult to get information, but as we get it, of course, we will make more content for you to review. And again, as always, have a good day, and thanks for joining us.